Hey everyone, and welcome. Today's explainer is all about decoding one of the absolute coolest magic tricks in the entire universe. We're going to take this massive, mind-blowing celestial event and break it down using just some simple, everyday mechanics. It's going to be super fun, and I promise, by the end of this, you'll know exactly how the cosmos pulls off this literally unbelievable illusion.
Okay, so let's just use our imaginations for a second. Picture this. It's the middle of the day, right? You're hanging out outside, the sun is blazing, and everything feels completely normal. But then, the sky just starts getting dark. The shadows around you start looking, well, kind of weird and sharp. The temperature actually drops, and you feel this sudden chill. The birds above you completely stop singing. The streetlights actually click on, and then, boom, the ultimate vanishing act. The sun just disappears.
For a few totally unforgettable minutes, day literally turns into night. Now, think about ancient people looking up and seeing this exact same thing. They honestly believed it was a message from the gods, or, a sign the world was ending. And honestly, fair enough. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But as we know, this isn't magic or special effects. It's actually a completely real, predictable, and beautifully mechanical phenomenon.
Which brings us to Chapter 1, the Cosmic Photobomb.
I seriously love thinking about it this way, because it makes this massive planetary event so much easier to picture. We've all tried to take that perfect photo, right? You get the lighting right, you hit the button, and bam! Your friend steps right in front of the camera and completely ruins the shot. Well, the universe does the exact same thing. A solar eclipse happens when the moon moves directly between the sun and Earth, casting a shadow onto Earth's surface. Let's break that down. The sun is our giant spotlight, the Earth is the camera lens, and the moon? The moon is that friend who steps perfectly in front of the lens. It blocks the spotlight and casts a giant shadow that basically traces a line right across our planet. If you're standing inside that moving shadow, you are experiencing an eclipse.
It's kind of awesome to see how the moving parts of this giant space machine line up. We've basically got three key players here. First, the sun, just doing its thing as our giant light source. Then the Earth, our target, taking a full year to orbit that sun. And finally, our photobomber, the moon, which is zipping around the Earth super fast, completing its orbit in just 27.3 days. So it's this constant, spinning dance between these three bodies.
So that brings us to Chapter 2, the hula hoop problem. Because all this movement brings up a pretty big cosmic mystery. If the moon passes between the Earth and the sun every single month, which it does during a new moon, why on earth don't we get an eclipse every single month? Like, why isn't this just a regular Tuesday thing? Well, the answer is all about a tiny 5-degree tilt. Think of the moon's orbit around the Earth kind of like a hula hoop. But instead of spinning perfectly flat around your waist, this hula hoop is tilted, just slightly, just by about 5 degrees compared to Earth's orbit around the sun.
And because of that tiny little tilt, most of the time the moon's shadow just completely misses us. It passes slightly above or slightly below the Earth, zooming right off into empty space. Perfect alignment is extremely rare. It only happens a few times a year when all three objects just happen to hit that exact sweet spot, and the moon's shadow actually catches the Earth's surface.
Moving right along to Chapter 3, 4 flavors of eclipses.
When these rare alignments do happen, they come in a few different styles, or flavors, 4 of them to be exact. First up, the total solar eclipse. This is the absolute showstopper where the moon completely covers the sun and you can see the sun's glowing outer atmosphere, the corona. Second is the partial solar eclipse. That's where the moon only blocks part of the sun. It literally looks like someone took a giant bite out of a cosmic cookie. The sky gets a little dark, but not completely. Third is annular. We'll come back to that one in a second. And fourth is the hybrid solar eclipse. This is the rarest one of all. It's a crazy mix where it looks like a total eclipse in some parts of the world and an annular eclipse in others. But let's rewind to that third one, the annular eclipse, because it is truly special.
Okay, so sometimes the moon is just a tiny bit farther away from Earth in its orbit. And because it's farther away, it naturally looks just a little bit smaller in our sky. So even when it's perfectly aligned, it isn't quite big enough to cover the whole sun. Instead, it blocks the center, but leaves this spectacular, blazing ring of sunlight poking out all around the edges. We call this breathtaking event the Ring of Fire, and it is absolutely wild to see.
Which perfectly sets up Chapter 4, the ultimate cosmic coincidence.
If you thought the Ring of Fire was cool, just wait. There is a mind-blowing geometric coincidence that makes a total solar eclipse on Earth completely unique in our entire solar system. 400, that is the magic number. It's the key to this whole illusion. Just keep that number in the back of your head for a second.
Here's the crazy coincidence. The sun is about 400 times larger than the moon. Massive, right? But at the exact same time, the sun is also exactly 400 times farther away from Earth than the moon is. It's like holding your thumb up to block out a giant skyscraper way off in the distance. The skyscraper is huge, sure, but because it's so far away, your tiny little thumb can perfectly cover it up. Distance perfectly cancels out size. Because of this totally random 400-to-1 ratio, the sun and the moon appear to be almost exactly the same size in our sky. Scientists literally haven't found another known planet in our solar system where this aligns so perfectly. It's just us.
Chapter 5. Experiencing Totality.
I want you to imagine, just for a moment, what it actually feels like to be standing there on the ground during those few minutes of magic. The energy just shifts. A quiet awe settles over everyone. The world literally transforms right in front of you. First, the temperature drops, and the sky darkens into this eerie twilight. Second, the animals get completely confused. Birds will fly back to their nests thinking it's bedtime, and daytime bugs quiet down while crickets might start chirping in the middle of the afternoon. Third, right before the sun is completely covered, these tiny brilliant points of sunlight shine through the deep valleys on the edge of the moon. We call those Bailey's beads. And finally, the sun disappears completely, and that glowing white corona is revealed. It is a hushed, completely breathtaking sight.
Chapter 6. Safety First. Okay, sharp pivot here, guys, because these rules are absolutely non-negotiable. As magical as this is, if you are lucky enough to be in the path of one of these, you have to follow the rules to protect your eyes. Number 1, never ever stare directly at the sun. Unprotected viewing can and will cause permanent damage to your eyesight. Even if the sun is mostly covered, that tiny sliver of light is still incredibly dangerous. You must always use certified solar eclipse glasses. And no, regular sunglasses do not count. You need certified solar filters. The literally one and only exception is during those few brief moments of complete totality, when the sun is 100% covered. But the literal second a tiny sliver of the sun reappears, boom, those glasses go right back on. Safety first, no exceptions.
So to wrap up this explainer, I really love this quote. It says, "A solar eclipse is a perfectly timed cosmic dance between three worlds." When you're looking up at an eclipse, you aren't just looking at a shadow on the ground. You are witnessing a massive celestial machine, the sun, the earth, and the moon, functioning perfectly together. It's this grand, predictable rhythm that has been blowing people's minds for thousands of years.
So I'll leave you with this one final question. When will you witness your first cosmic dance? Never stop asking questions, guys. I definitely challenge you to stay curious, look up those eclipse maps, and find out exactly when this incredible shadow is going to cross your own backyard. Thank you so much for exploring the cosmos with me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.